Hey guys, Bill at Power Hungry Performance here, and we just got back from the OBS Truck Show 2024. I'm here with Angela and Vinny and Ward, and we've had a little time to kind of process everything that we've seen at the show, the people that we've met, and it's been an absolutely fantastic show. One of my favorite highlights on the show was to be able to do an install on an OBS 7.3 and show that it's not the big scary thing that it always is. Rod was the lucky receiver of our Hydra chip install, and he was absolutely excited to be able to receive the chip, to meet the guys from Complete Performance, to meet Paul and Chris. And then when we did the install on his truck, and ideally my goal was to try to do it in 15 minutes. I don't think I was quite close to that, but we did have to solder the PC up. It was a really fun challenge. It was nice to be able to get back in and do an install like that. And I had a really good time with it. There was a lot of wonderful things to see, beautiful trucks. What color was that blue truck that was across from me?
I think it was. I talked to the guy. It was original paint, and it was just absolutely stunning, absolutely pristine. I think he called it brilliant blue metallic.
So, brilliant blue metallic OBS truck. The color was stunning. I would love to find a vehicle that I could paint in that color. So, but anyway, we had a really good time. The weather for the event was beautiful. We're definitely going to plan on being out there again next year, and I think it's going to be a great time again. So, what about you, Angela? What did you like?
So the trip started with us carrying 12 pieces of checked luggage through the Atlanta airport, 5 or 6 of which were huge duffel bags full of 400 shirts, because we did a free shirt giveaway at the event. Poor Vinny trying to balance those on a cart. It was quite a spectacle.
Clown show.
Yeah,
it was comical.
It looked like we were absolutely muling things through the Atlanta airport.
And how he made it through without getting hit by TSA, I couldn't tell you.
It's a miracle. So once there, we were setting up at the OBS Truck Show, and there was an empty spot between us and Complete Performance for a truck that was going to arrive later. And all of a sudden, one of my favorite YouTubers pulled in. It's Tim with Truck House Life. Check his channel out. Fascinating videos. But he pulled in right next to our booth. And so I spent a few minutes fangirling and
a few days
and talking with him and just really enjoying that experience of getting to speak with him one-on-one like that. It was a lot of fun. So great show, great turnout. The people that came to our booth were absolutely phenomenal. We gave away 400 shirts, and everyone was really pleased to learn more about what we had and to get their free shirt. It was overall a great experience.
One of the really cool things about Tim being next to our booth is he also runs one of our products. He runs the Hydra chip on his truck. So yes. It really kind of fit in with everything that we had going on there. I thought that was really cool.
Yes. Yeah. He's a really nice guy. Truck House Life on YouTube.
Yeah, that was fortuitous to have somebody that big already running a Hydra chip. Because, like, we're there explaining what a Hydra chip is. Got to do an install on Rod's truck. And then, the fact that, Tim just showed up with a Hydra already ready to go. Was just
backs in next to our booth.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah, no warning whatsoever. Yeah. Just you see Tim show up, and if you've seen his channel, it's you can't help but recognize the truck. It's very easy to notice.
Right. Vinny, what did you enjoy about the show?
Everything. I've been doing truck shows for 15 years, and various companies that I've worked for along the way, and it's like, I usually get cattle card into the back of an airplane and a horrible hotel room and no walk around and for you guys to fly us out there first class was awesome. Just such a nice experience, comfortable, fun. The excitement of getting to the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning and muling those bags around was just a fun, comical way to start off the weekend.
That's an experience you'll never forget, I'm sure.
It's just a fun group to travel with. I really enjoy the experience, getting to know Ward better outside of a work environment, and enjoyed our time together. And just the show was so well put together.
It was. It really was.
It flowed so nicely. There were zero issues.
Well, the number of trucks that turned out was astounding.
Insane. It blew my mind. I mean, I tried walking around the first day, which technically wasn't even
A full day.
a full day, and it took hours to see all the trucks that showed up. And then the second day, it was just like never-ending trucks coming in. And talk about being in front of your target audience. You know, like most of the time I go to a show and I'm with a company that's a Duramax focused company, and you got Fords and Dodges. You know, so you're kind of like, you feel like you invest all this time and money into going to this show, and it's like, well, I got like 30% of my target audience here. We had 100% of our target audience there in front of us, and I just felt like it was a very good use of our time, a very good use of my time, and just what a privilege to go. I can't wait to go back.
Well, one of the interesting things too is that, you know, talking about target audience is that I mean, we're well known for doing power stroke chips, but you know, better than 60 to 70% of the trucks that are out there being OBS, they were all gas. And a lot of people don't realize that the hydro chip works on these gas vehicles. We don't market it, you know, much, but it really is an avenue. You know, we do provide avenues for these people to get more power on these older trucks.
Yeah, and that one guy that was talking to you about the gas side of it, he seemed like a pretty intelligent guy. Like, he knew his stuff.
Yeah. We chatted for a while, and I've connected with him on Facebook and stuff. And we've had a conversation going since the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nemo.
Hey, Nemo.
Yeah, very, very intelligent.
Yeah, definitely seemed like he knew what he was talking about, especially in the gasoline stuff.
Well, he was just absolutely fascinated that we could even reflash his computer. He's like, nobody can do that.
Yeah,
you know,
Did you do a flash for him right there?
I did a flash for him. Yeah, we just got it set up. He had a binary file that he had done, and he was using a quarter horse to do his tuning.
Yeah.
But I had no way to get it on the ECM. And I said, well, I'll give it to me. I'll flash it on. There was no big deal. So, but he was just absolutely flabbergasted that we could do that.
That's fun.
Yeah, there were so many of those interactions that were not planned, that were so valuable for us as a company. And it seemed like the whole weekend was just a godsend. Like, it was just very cool. It went very well. Great connections, getting to see the boys from Complete Performance, Paul and Chris. I love those guys.
Sure. Shout out Complete Performance.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again.
How about you, Ward?
Well, yeah, I mean, we obviously have never been to that show, and I haven't been in that show personally either. So,
well, you've never done a show like that.
Not really. I mean, like we've done SEMA and stuff, but nothing where we had a booth, nothing where we were participating kind of at this level. And you know, to Vinny's point, the show was very smooth. Yeah. We showed up. They said, "Here you go." We set up our booth, and you know, we were busy. We were busy all day long. So yeah. Getting rid of 400 t-shirts, especially when it came to the point where when you guys were doing the install. So we did a Hydra install. So we had everybody kind of on our corner, and the booth was just slam packed. I just could not give away t-shirts fast enough. I had Vinny holding the camera because I was just like, I can't do this. I'm like loading a Hydra chip with one hand and just shoveling out t-shirts with the other hand.
Well, we were down to just extra larges and stuff at that point.
Yeah, we were
3XL.
Yeah, we were dark bargaining there at the end where it's like, oh, thank you so much for coming by. Here's a triple XL.
Good luck with that. Wear it as a night shirt.
I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, but there were a ton of really nice trucks out there, and you know, like we were talking about, a lot of gassers. You know, you walk up to an OBS and you're like, because of what we do, I walk up to an OBS and I just assume it's a power stroke. I've got an OBS with a power stroke in it, so I assume when I walk up to one that it's just got a power stroke in it. But there were a lot of really, really nice gas trucks there as well. I mean, some of them were still running the stock PCMs, which, you know, would use a Hydra chip. A lot of them were running the Holly Sniper stuff and things like that. A lot of them were carbureted, which is fine. You know, we'll respect a carbureted OBS as well. But yeah, there were a lot of nice rucks out there. There's one truck that was my favorite. It's kind of an underdog. You know, it wasn't the cleanest truck out there. There were a lot of really nice trucks out there. But I've been really big into the service bodies lately. I'm just I want a service body OBS so bad. And there was one. It was a crew cab, so a 4-door OBS with a service body on it. Big beefy tires, KC light fighters all over the top. It gave like Baja truck vibes,
Right.
like a pre-runner kind of
Pre-runner.
vibe.
Yeah, like a service truck.
Yeah, like someone running along the Baja with them. And I met that guy. Shout out to you. I forgot your name. You're really cool. I like your truck. So that was my favorite truck specifically. But yeah, I mean just getting there and to Vinny's point, target audience is really, really cool. So the fact that we all knew that they were in there, or everybody that was in there had an OBS, had a Ford at the very least. It seemed really chill. Like it seemed like everybody was kind of on the same page and everybody was kind of super friendly. And there was, I don't know if it's like that at every event because I haven't been to a lot personally, but just seeing all those guys there, they seemed super chill.
So one of the things that I've noticed about this event, and having been to events for the last 20 almost 25 years now, this event is very reminiscent of the events that I used to go to in the early 2000s. Everyone was chill, everyone was there to meet and greet, have a good time. In the late 2000s, early 2010s, things started, getting a little out of control. It was more about, trying to be a big party atmosphere, and people don't really like that. There's a few people that's what they thrive on. But this event was a real big throwback to the early events we used to go to. And one of the other things that I was really, really fascinated to see and actually quite enjoyed was how young the crowd was.
Sure, yeah.
It was a lot of late teens, 20s, early 30s. A lot of really, really young people are getting into these old trucks. I think that's fantastic to keep that whole movement going.
That was really cool.
Yeah, Rod that we did the hydro chip install on his truck. That was a truck that he was given by his grandfather, bought it brand new, kept it all those years, and then gave it to Rod. And so when we were talking with him about being able to do the install on his truck, I think his grandfather was the first person he called, all excited, so excited to tell him about, he's going to get this hydro chip on it and it'll be like a showpiece, and to have him see the excitement in his eyes. And so many of the people that came to our booth were teenagers, teens, early 20s, inheriting this old truck and being enthusiastic about it. That was really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's exciting to see our next generation of diesel enthusiasts, because you get older and you focus on that older crowd and you kind of forget that these kids are coming up. And I've got 2 teenagers that just inherited my truck, so it's definitely fun to see the new generation of diesel enthusiasts coming along and attending these shows.
We deal a lot with with the older crowd, the old guy that wants to pull a camper and stuff like that, and we forget, or maybe we're just not, we just don't see how much of the younger crowd is starting to come into this stuff, and it's really important, to keep, like I said, to keep this industry going, but just to keep the hobby going. That kind of excitement is amazing. It was stuff I enjoyed as a kid. Now I love to see kids enjoying it now. But
for sure.
The funny thing with Rob, so
Rod.
He had a Rod. Keep doing that. His truck, he came in and he already had a complete performance intercooler set up on there. And so when we had selected him to do the install, and he was showing, and he pulls the truck up and you can see the intercooler right there and everything, and he pops ahead and we're talking about it, and we're like, well, that's the owners of Complete Performance right over there. And he's like, so here, let me introduce you. And so you take him over to meet Chris and Paul, and he ended up actually spending most of the weekend in their booth helping them out because he was just so excited to meet them. But that was a really fun experience. So anyway, shout out to Rod and Victoria. You guys were awesome. And we do hope to see you again next year.
Well, speaking of next year, are we going back next year?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What else what's that?
I wouldn't miss it.
I think it was.
It was one of the best truck shows I've ever been to.
It was really good. Ton of good feedback.
And the museum there was fantastic. I spent hours in the big engine museum.
Yeah, when we lost Bill, when someone
you knew where to find me.
When someone would come up and say, "Hey, I've got a specific question," I can answer a lot of questions, but when they're like, "I have a really specific question," I'm just like, "You're gonna have to go find Bill in the hit and miss engine museum because I can't keep him out of it."
I'll have their interests.
Everybody's got their hobbies, and that's what we're here for.
And I can't afford to have any of that stuff, so I live vicariously through all the other people who generously provided their machines for the museum.
Yep, Bill cannot afford to own a museum.
No, as much as I try. Computer museum, old truck museum, dirt bike museum. I just can't do it. But anyway.
So yeah, so next year, no BS. To the other camera, can't be camera. No BS OBS Truck Show next year will be there. We have our own event that we're doing, Summit 7.3. It's going to be at the end of March in 2025. So if you saw us at the truck show, if you don't want to wait a whole year to see us again, come out to Georgia. We'd love to have you.
So anyway, if you need any more information, visit us at gopowerhungry.com. We'd be happy to get any questions answered for you, and we look forward to seeing you.
Very cool.